Hey everybody, welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm the host of the show, Mark, and you're watching Whiskey Review number 164. This is I.W. Harper. However, it's quite an old version of I.W. Harper Bourbon. This, by the way, is part 2 in the Barrage of Bourbon series here on Whiskey Whistle. This I found here in Seoul, South Korea, Namdaemun Market, in fact, sitting there on the shelf, and the person who had it had no idea how old this was, or maybe they did, and they just haven't been able to sell it all this time. This could be from the 70s. It could be from the 60s. It's very old indeed, I would say. Anyway, I'll just read the label here for you. Gold medal I.W. Harper Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, distilled by I.W. Harper Distilling Company, Louisville, Kentucky, 86 proof. And the back here it says, Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This whiskey is 4 years old. Distilled by I.W. Harper Distilling Company, Louisville, Kentucky, DSP KY1. Bottled at DSP PA4. I'm sure somebody out there knows what that means. Let me show you the label nice and close. And here you can see the tax paid special little, what do you call that? Bottle sealant? I guess, I don't know what that's called. Tax stamp? It's not a stamp, it's a sticker. Anyway. So 4 years old or more. And this was a brand that came about around about 872 by the Bernheim brothers. And the name I.W. Harper, well, it comes from the first two letters of one of the brothers, Isaac Wolf, that's I.W., and then interestingly named the back end of the brand after a racehorse owner known as John Harper. I guess the reason being that they thought that would be better for the American consumers rather than a German name. Probably a good idea at the time. It was so popular in Japan that they actually stopped USA sales in the late 80s. And I believe as 2014 they have re-released in USA in a very beautiful decanter for the 15-year-old and the regular bottle. It looks kind of similar to the back there. There's a man bowing on the back there. That's for the regular 6-year-old. And it's got a neat little quote here. It says, "It's always a pleasure," in the little center of that orangey oval shape there. Anyway, gold medal I.W. Harper. Let's get it poured. Yes, I'm going to open it. Break the seal. Good fill level. Pretty good. Anyway, should be hopefully nice and intact. I think that's about enough. Save a little bit for someone special out there. Okay. Ooh, I can smell it from here. Well, isn't that interesting? To my nose, this smells a little bit like Canadian whiskey in a sense. Very, very creamy. Ooh, also very feisty. 86 proof, 43% ABV. Now, I don't really know much about the mash bill or what have you. I would say there's not a lot of rye in there. There could be some wheat. Very different. In fact, this smells a little bit like Scotch whiskey in a sense. You don't really get that huge, really strong cinnamon vanilla flavor. Vanilla scent. It's more peppery. How about that? if that needs to settle down for a little bit. That's what I'll do. I'm going to set that down right there. And I'm going to start the next one, and then we'll come back to this one, and we'll just carry on, okay? So, we'll have a short little word from the YouTube sponsors here. Welcome back. I.W. Harper, a very, very old version. This is the gold medal. It's 4 years old, 86%, 86 proof, 43% ABV. It's had a lot of time to breathe now, probably about 15 minutes or so. And we'll see how that is now. Very buttery. Very spicy. And there's still that kind of scotchy sort of a scent to it now. It's hard to really say that that's a bourbon when you smell it. Angel's Envy, that's a bourbon. To my nose, this could be a Japanese whiskey. It could be a Japanese blended whiskey. It could even be something like Nika from the barrel. Or, I haven't tried it yet, but I would imagine, having smelled the Nika from the barrel and tasted it, that perhaps the Nika coffee still might be something like this. Very interesting. I can smell the rye. I can tell it's going to be very dry. A little bit of mintiness on the nose. Some herbals. And then deep in there lurks some, I keep using the word lurks. They're broods, some buttery sweetness, a sugariness to it. Almost kind of like buttered, sugared crepes. Crêpe in French, I guess. We call them crepes in Canada. Thin pancakes, butter it, put on some white sugar. Delicious. Well, let's give it a taste. In we go. Cheers, everybody. No mistaking that that's bourbon when you taste it. It's got a lot of power to it. Comes in like a bulldozer of cinnamon with a bit of mint. And the finish is very, very long, full of cinnamon, a little bit of sugar sweetness. Not much in the way of fruit. The vanilla, I can taste a little bit of vanilla now once I've swallowed a couple of times. Gets very dry, very peppery. Cinnamon, mint, pepper, white sugar, not brown sugar, white. One more, a little taste. Well, isn't that flavorful? Oh, very, very warming when you swallow. My whole mouth is warmed. I'm going to add just a little splash of water in there. Just a little bit. Give it a real shake. the nose is still really Japanese. Boy, very spirit driven. It almost makes me wonder if this was distilled to the upper end of the legal limit, and then possibly even barreled at a high ABV, high proof, before being diluted for bottling. With water, you get a little more sweetness coming through now. Still very much a white sugar, just straight up sweet. And the palate. Cheers, everyone. Maybe a hint of apple in there now, and a little bit of an unripe peach. Finish is pretty much the same. Isn't that cool? Really potent flavor. Not exactly a big, huge variety of flavors in there, but what it does have, it really smacks you in the face with it. So that's pretty awesome. Very long finish also. So this does need a nice score. I.W. Harper, gold medal. I think that deserves an 87 out of 100. That's the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for I.W. Harper. The old version, probably from the 70s, maybe earlier. I think I need a little bit more in there to compare when we do the final roundup. Stay tuned for that. That's coming up, well, after the rest of them. All right, so I.W. Harper, 87 out of 100. Very, very unusual, very different from modern bourbon. It may have a little bit of bottle aging, as I said, but taste-wise, very, very minimal, but potent flavors for what it does have, and it does it very well. So stay tuned for the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and check out Twitter also, WhiskyWhistle on Twitter, Instagram, and the Facebook page for WhiskyWhistle. If you're in Korea, then have a look at the Naver blog, okay? Take care, everyone, and stay tuned for the next one, and that is going to be Antique, straight Kentucky bourbon. All right, take care now. Antique, where are you? Oh, Forster.